guys, it is your coach Tracy here. So today I wanted to talk to you guys about personal development, how to pick the right personal development book for you. And when we do pick our book and start reading it, in my opinion and what's worked for me, I want to share how I think that we should be reading these books. Okay, so one way that I pick my books out is first, am I currently struggling with something? Is my energy low? Am I struggling with being happy? Do I find myself making excuses? And so that's actually how I picked a couple of my books. I was actually in a funk for like 2 months. And I knew that no one wants to follow someone who is want, right? And that's just not attractive, and I just knew I needed to bring my energy level up, but I wanted to learn more about it as well. So I went and got the book, The Energy Buzz, and it really helped. It really helped me. So we can pick our books by what we are currently struggling with. And if we're not struggling with something, because we're not always going to be struggling with something, then I recommend you picking a book based off of what your upline coach is recommending, or what you hear like a lot of other coaches saying, oh my gosh, that was an amazing book. Just go get it and start reading it. I won't lie. I have started some books where I'm like, I'm not connecting. I just don't feel like I'm getting something from it. Stop reading it, okay? And find something that you connect to. And it doesn't happen often. Actually, it's only happened like once or twice where I've started a book and I'm like, that just isn't working for me. So I just move on and I find another book that I feel like is connecting and speaking to me and really adding value to my life. So one way that I think is super vital to when we're reading a book is instead of just reading it, we study it. You guys, as coaches, we have to be able to have value to add to other people's lives. And as we build our teams, we are going to have coaches coming to us. We are going to have challengers coming to us and say, oh my gosh, I'm struggling with this. Do you have any advice, or can you recommend a book? And we really need to be able to recommend a book or have advice. Well, if we're not reading personal development, guess what? We really aren't going to have anything to offer. So being a vital behavior in this business, I totally understand why it is vital. It is huge in this business. And in order to have a successful business, we have to do this. That is why it is a vital behavior. Now, what does that mean? Well, just like we could not live without our heart, right? We have vital organs and stuff. We could not live. We could not go on. If we're not breathing and we don't have our lungs, we're going to die. That's why this is vital. If we are not doing this, our business is going to die. We're not going to get very far. So this is not some silly thing to waste your time. This is important and it is necessary. If you are serious about building a successful business and growing and just offering value to other people's lives, this is a must. So let me show you. So when I read, I highlight, and not only do I highlight, but I write in my books. Like I just flipped open to this, and it looks like I put a little sticky in here. I wrote something about the book and stuck it in here, but I also highlight. You guys can see. I can't tell you how many highlighters I have gone through because I highlight so much that I just run them dry. So when we are reading or studying our personal development, I recommend highlighting and marking in them. I just feel like for me personally as well, that it really makes it stick and click a little bit better versus if I'm just reading and reading and reading and reading and never really stopping to think about what I'm reading. We have to stop and think about it, and highlighting it, it kind of makes us stop and think about it because we're like, oh my gosh, that was so good. And we stop, and I don't know about you, but for me, when I stop and highlight it, I normally read it 2 or 3 more times because it was so good. And then I'll think about how I can apply it to my life. Or maybe it's already a strength and I think about how I already am applying it, maybe how I could do it better, okay? So when I find something that I really like, I will write the page number down. This is all my handwriting, okay? This is not the book. This is all everything that I've written. I write the page number down, and then I will write what stood out to me about that, or what that page or what that chapter was about because it was so good. I only write things down that stand out to me and that I think are really good. So here's the thing, when we are helping our coaches and we are helping our challengers, and someone comes to me and is like, my issue is excuses. Hello, I've read Brian Tracy, No Excuses. I can flip open to this, and from what I have written down, I can come up with something and say, okay, why are we making excuses? And I can find something that I feel like I could talk to her about, and instead of having to flip through this book and be like, oh, I know it was somewhere in here, I know it was somewhere, where was it? We just simply look at this, find the page number, flip to it, and read it. And we're like, oh yeah, that's right. I do this with most of my books. I have not done it with all of them, but I do it with most. I've done it with The Happiness Advantage. I've done it with the 15 Invaluable Laws of Growth. You can see, I've written it down. And the book that I just finished up actually is The School of Greatness. And there was a lot of really good nuggets in here. And so, let me find my page. You can see the entire, this is all my handwriting, and even spilled over into the next page. So that when I know someone is struggling, like success quote, if I want to find a quote on success, page 149, done, flipped to it. Another thing that I actually heard, I don't know where I heard it. Maybe it was in a Go Giver or a training. I'm not sure exactly where I heard it. This isn't my idea. I just want you to know that. Is someone who was running a business and did personal development, he would actually write down the things that he had read on like Post-its or little note cards, but he also, he'd file them. But he also did like on the computer, so you could do categories for goals. And so when you're reading a book and you highlight it, you could type it out underneath goals and what it had said. And that would just give you something to go back to and say, okay, I have a challenger or I have a coach that's truly struggling with goals. Pull that file up and see everything you have written. And yeah, that's a little bit more time consuming, but I actually think it's a really great idea. And I would actually like to start implementing that into my business. Sometimes it just takes doing that work up front, but it pays off in the long run. So I just wanted to give you those ideas of how I pick my personal development and when I read them, what I do. Okay, so we pick them off of what we're struggling, or if we're not currently struggling, maybe what you want to learn more about, or maybe what your upline coach has recommended, or what a ton of other coaches are ranting and raving about. That's how we pick our books. That's how I pick my books. Then we highlight and we write in them so that we can go back to them really quickly and find what it was we liked about it. Those are my tips that I wanted to give you guys, and I hope you guys have an amazing day. We'll chat soon. Bye.